Red Sox wish Ted had been in the ball game today to knock a few out of the Jake. Like, they got hammered 11-1, I think, was the final.
Oh, they only needed him to get 12 then, right?
Oh, my gosh, my Red Sox. Here's Dean, the shot blocked in front by Nicky Lidstrom. Lidstrom, you talk about helping the defenseman. Block shots, we've mentioned so often. Two teams last year who did it exceptionally well, Detroit and Dallas. Yep. Centering pass in the middle was loose. Nelson Emerson clears it out. Emerson back on the far side. 3-on-2 opportunity. Emerson in. 2 forwards and a D. Emerson tried to kick it in himself, but had it knocked away as he got squeezed. Yzerman. Good move by Yzerman. Pulled it away from Kelly Buchberger. Buchberger, the veteran's the captain of this team. Number 16. Been on 3 Stanley Cup winners at Edmonton. And Buchberger got the first Thrashers goal in Game 1. The only one that they had. Stepan centering pass knocked away. Trying to get all that offense on one line. Emerson, Buchberger, Stepan working together.
That's a pretty good forecheck they had there, but it's still a long way from a good forecheck to a scoring chance.
Yzerman trying to center, and McCarty cutting. It ends up going up and over the glass.
And Detroit is difficult to really generate scoring chances on with the forecheck because they support one another so well. Look at this. Taken to the boards was Nelson Emerson. Next guy there, Steve Yzerman. Buchberger came in. Yzerman smartly got out of the way. Next guy there, Larry Murphy. So in each one of those instances there, the Detroit guy was there before the Atlanta guy. They really support each other well.
They are playing in the first 3 games of this year like a very hungry team. 1-1 for Yzerman, who gets on the score sheet in the 3rd game of the season for Detroit. Darren McCarty knocked it into the corner, chased down by Darryl Shannon. Shannon took the check. Larionov had the intercept, couldn't control it, and it got out through center ice. Kravska had it, left it far side. Garpenlov save made by Osgood. Behind the net, Chelios turning with it. Chris Chelios double check. Garpenlov moved in again to help out. Chased down by Larionov on the far side. Larionov, little push pass into the middle. Steve Duchesne tic-tac back. Kozlov in. Got it to Larionov. Larionov left it in the middle. Not quite. Cleared by Garpenlov, who played with the Florida Panthers. Larionov moved up on him. At the point, Duchesne. Duchesne's got a weight, brought it in offside. 31 seconds remaining to go, and we'll have our intermission report upcoming.
You know, Steve Duchesne didn't even realize he'd be coming to Detroit until 2 days before training camp. He was talking to St. Louis and Ottawa about a contract. Detroit came out of nowhere, signed him to a 1-year deal. He's making $1 million this year, which is a lot of money by most people's standards, but it's below the NHL average, and he signed a 1-year deal. Steve Duchesne has never been past the 2nd round of the playoffs in his 14-year career. He wants to have fun. He wants to move past the 2nd round of the playoffs, so that's why he settled here for less money.
And cut by Los Angeles, of all things, after a big contract last season. Yeah, last year.
That may be one of the reasons he was able to afford, because there was a buyout there, too.
I think he can pretty much afford.
But he can afford to take the lower offer from Detroit on the 1-year contract.
Now you got the pass. Ferraro on a pass that deflected away at center. And here's what we're going to see more of this year. With players crashing the net looking for rebounds, they'll be attacking players surrounded by the defensemen, pulling them away from their goaltenders. It's going to happen. Denny Lambert that time was looking for the rebound. Osgood never gave it up.
Well, it'll definitely happen when Denny Lambert's on the ice. He's really a kind of a heart and soul guy, tough-nosed competitor. Played 4 years in the International League. Then he ended up going to Ottawa. Don Waddell brought him in here because he knew him from the San Diego days of the International League. If you want a guy to volunteer to drive the net, Denny Lambert's a good choice. There he is, number 10, just moving in, and he's just looking for garbage. Ray Ferraro makes a good shot here. He was getting hooked from behind. He just got robbed. He knew that Osgood was going down. Watch, he'll try to get it over Osgood. And he got it up high, but just not high enough. Chris Osgood made a fantastic save after Ray Ferraro really did the right thing and made the right shot selection.
16-year NHL veteran Ray Ferraro, and then Lambert lambasted. There is Ferraro, and obviously the acquisition of this free agent by the Thrashers was designed to find some offense. Kurt Fraser saying tonight, I've got to find guys to play with it. Somebody has to get the puck to Ray Ferraro, and our problem right now is trying to find the right line combinations. But, hey, you got guys, all these guys have never played together before.
Right.
So it's going to take a while to sort those kind of things out. Murphy, nice move. Shot, save made. Osgood knocked it away. Larry Murphy in front took his man down, and we've completed a period. The Detroit Red Wings have the 3-0 lead. 3 first-period goals. Yzerman, Larionov, and Kozlov putting it away for the Red Wings. ESPN News coming up after 1. 3-0 Wings.
Do these picks.
Anybody who recorded that should self-destruct that tape so we don't have to look bad later on. We are underway in the second period. Detroit Red Wings leading it by a score of 3-0. Lambert and Chelios went out in 1953 on roughing calls for we are 4-on-4 as we start the third period. Yzerman from Shanahan, Larionov from Yzerman and Murphy, and Kozlov from Larionov and Murphy. Those are the point men so far for Detroit. 4-on-4, Draper picks it up. Chris Draper will lead the charge in a 2-on-2 for the moment. He sets the screen in front. Shot hit the post. What a setup for Yzerman. Chris Draper. He looked like the Green Bay Packers running attack right there as he led the charge. And Yzerman just creeped in behind him and almost got his second goal of the game.
You know, Steve Yzerman's work ethic is second to none in the NHL, but his smarts are right up there, too. He and Chris Draper came wheeling down the ice and really confused Nelson Emerson, who was coming back.
That was Horning behind a pulling guard.
Well, you see both Thrashers in front. There's Nelson Emerson, number 19, and both Thrashers ended up right beside one another, so they couldn't spread to cover both the Detroit guys, and that's how Yzerman hit the post.
Good play on the setup. A couple have gone off the post here in this game. Brown centering for Fedorov, deflected it away behind the net. Yannick Tremblay played with Toronto last year. Cleared that one out to center. Dandino the check to Fedorov. Fedorov will just drop it wide side, and Detroit will turn it up ice. 4-on-4 for another 45 seconds. Brown, far side. Sergei Fedorov, Tremblay on him, leaves it behind the net. Tamer came back to help. First Tamer knocked away by Brown, but he got it around so that the Thrashers can clear it out of the zone. Garpenlov looking as they change it up, swept away by Doug Brown. Brown just reached in and took that away. 27 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Dandino coming. We have had a power play goal for Detroit and 2 even strength. Norm Miracle to save. Fedorov took the shot from center ice. Both teams making changes here. 14 left in the matching minors. Tremblay sends it wide side. Mike Stapleton trying to line it up for a shot. Couldn't get it. Picked up by Shanahan to Yzerman. Yzerman, Shanahan, pass to him, blocked. Good play at center by Shannon. Shannon left it off the near side boards. Ray Ferraro the intended. Osgood trying to play it up. But offside? No, sorry. Thought I heard a whistle there. Back in behind the net. Murphy came back to get it. Harry Murphy knocked down. Lidstrom on the far side. Too far for him. Ferraro poke check away to Brendan Shanahan again. Shanahan batted down Stapleton at center. Sent back in. Lambert alone. Lambert a shot. Saved by Osgood. And no rebound.
Well, this has been the big forechecking unit. Denny Lambert at center, Ray Ferraro on the line. But they haven't been able to generate many good shots. And can they finish when they get the good scoring chances? That is the big question about this team, because when you look at last year's goal leaders that are now members of the Atlanta Thrashers, top guys were Nelson Emerson and Ray Ferraro with 13 goals. Andrew Brunette had 11, and that was as good as it got last year. But this is the hope for the future. Patrick Stefani is 19 years of age. He is the real thing, folks. It's just a matter of how much he's going to be able to develop. Right now, he is comparable to many guys that have turned out to be star players if you go back and compare them to the way they were when they were 19.
19 years old. Jay Leach, I asked the assistant coach, tell me who he plays like. He said, I hesitate to do this. But Jaromir Jagr is the man I think of sometimes on those moves. Out in front, Osgood to knock it away again. That's almost a burden to have to play with that kind of recognition. Kozlov moved his way in. Daryl Shannon able to knock it away. Kozlov on the far side up on the check. Still batted. Larionov joins the play, sent back in behind the net. Of the 13 players drafted in the expansion draft by the Thrashers, 13 forwards had a total of 44 goals last year. And their 10 defensemen, 15 goals. So they were not drafting heavy offense, but bear in mind in an expansion draft, you're not going to find a lot of offense anyway. Stepan, nice pass, far side, Buchberger. Eyes good. That was partially blocked. Ward got out there and got a stick on it. Shannon will chase it down back in his own end. Great to have you with us, and great to be back in Atlanta with the National Hockey League. Big crowd on hand tonight to see the Red Wings and the Thrashers go at it in Game 2 for the expansion team. Ward. Ward trying to send it in, at it blocked. Garfinlov got it. Kozlov got it back. Actually got a shot on Miracle. Cleared around the near side. Yzerman let it go to the point. Garfinlov had covered, but they were offside when kicked back in. Want to remind you, ESPN Magazine on newsstands right now. Take a look at the NHL 1999-2000 season. Joe Thornton, one of the young stars, hoping to help out in the New England game. Brendan Shanahan in the crosshead story. And two beautiful pictures. Highly sought after.
Well, in case you missed it during our intermission, you can also see our worthless predictions in this edition of the magazine.
We had to check the magazine to make sure they were the same ones we made tonight. Sometimes we tend to forget on those predictions. So I was glad we had a copy of ESPN Magazine here this evening before we...
You're brutal.
16:30 to go here in the second period.
I just wish you could stop telling the truth.
I know. It's a disgusting thing. Leads you into all kinds of deep, deep crevices.
You have to learn not to let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yzerman will take the face-off. Svatmanat out to take it against him, the rookie, and it is won by Yzerman, sent back in behind the net. Steve Yzerman last year, 57% of the time, won face-offs. Nice chance out in front. Oof. Good defensive play. Garfinlov leads the attack again. Stapleton on the right, left back in the middle. Stapleton, the pass went behind him. Svatmanat had Stapleton cutting, and he had a step. Garfinlov's shot. That one was on the outside of the net. Osgood had that short side covered. Stapleton again. Good movement by this line. Some of the best down-low cycling we've seen in the game. Blocked out deep. Shanahan got squeezed at center. McCarty tipped it into the zone. Stapleton came back to get it. Both teams change it up on the fly. Buzek cleared that one out. Peter Buzek, another one of the rookies on this Thrasher team on D. Thrashers coming over the boards, and there was the puck. Ray Ferraro. Ferraro in the corner, Nicky Lidstrom. Lidstrom and Ferraro do battle. Sergei Fedorov came in to help out. The puck went the other way. Larry Murphy's got it. Murphy's added a couple of assists already in this game for the veteran defenseman. Up and over the boards.
Well, so far, Darren McCarty looks like he was telling the truth when he said he was in shape and ready to play. Finishing his checks, that's always a sign that Darren McCarty's in the hockey game. As a result of him finishing the checks, he's created a couple of good scoring opportunities. Happy to have him back, especially with some of the injuries you mentioned earlier, Gary. Brent Gilchrist still out. Kirk Maltby now out. He was on his butt in the corner. He came out to knock the puck down, and the ref ruled that the puck wasn't higher than the crossbar, so the play continued for scoring chance.
Talking about the hernia problem, Brent Gilchrist, that's the problem he's got. Joey Koster has never been able to get going this year. Hernia problem. Maltby, hernia problem. And concern. Save made. Fedorov, Norm Miracle was there, knocked away. We also were talking about the changes made on this Detroit team. They picked up a number of veterans at the end of last season. Scotty Bowman wanted to put the team in the best position to chase the cut down, and a lot of those guys